Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck. What I have here today with me is the Nord Piano 4 in red, of course, and the Korg SV-2, which the 88 key without speakers is in black. So these are two excellent pianos, and the reason I'm comparing the two is because they're kind of similar. Each one is having their controls on the panel, and even though there is a LCD screen here, the use of that screen is very minimal. It is nice because I can see what piano I've selected or whatever other instrument I've selected. Or if I have a layer, I can see the two instruments in a layer. This Korg does not have a screen, so you have to kind of remember what's what, or you can use the Korg SV-2 editor and it'll show you what you've selected. But basically, in the pianos, there's 6 different categories, and if you choose the piano 1 category, those are where all the main pianos are. But anyway, on to the panel, and let's talk about structurally or physically what the similarities and differences are between the two. First of all, the Nord weighs just a tad over 40 pounds. The Korg weighs just under 45 pounds. So they're very similar in weight. Neither one of these have speakers, although the Korg SV-2S has speakers for more money. Now, price-wise, these are about $1,000 US difference. Approximately $2,000 for the Korg and approximately $3,000 for the Nord. Now, while the Korg has this beautiful retro design to it, the Nord actually has flat portions here where you can set something on it, which I find very useful. I could set a smartphone on here or a tablet, so that would aid me during my performance. I can't do that here. So anything that you could put anywhere on any keyboard, you cannot do here, but the design really is beautiful, so that kind of makes up for that. All right, now, as far as the controls go, we're going to go left to right on the Korg and compare with the Nord. Okay, so the controls on the Korg SV-2, the volume control, same thing over here. Equalizer section, you've got bass, mid, and treble. On the Nord, not only do you have bass, mid, and treble in the equalizer section here, but you also have a sweepable mid-range, so that gives you actually a lot more control over the mid-range. Okay, and then the pre-effects, those are like your stomp boxes and stuff. On the Korg, you've got red comp, treble boost, U vibe, vibrate, tremolo, vox wah, and auto pedal. Here on the Nord, we have two effects sections, or two effects strips: tremolo 1 and 2, pan 1 and 2, wah, and room. And on the second one, phaser 1, phaser 2, flanger, chorus 1, chorus 2, and vibe. But if you look over here under the modulation section of the Korg SV-2, we'll see classic chorus, black chorus, orange phaser, small phaser, MX flanger, and rotary. So we have similar things here. Going on to the amplifier section, on the Korg, there's 6 different amps that you can choose from: clean, twin, tweed, AC30, boutique, and organ. On the Nord, we have 5 basically: small, JC, twin, DIST, and compression. So this also not only is an amp section, but it's also a compression section as well. This has on the Korg an organ amp, but there's really no organ on the Nord Piano 4. And by the way, this is a Nord Piano 4 and the Nord Grand, which is more money than this. I believe it's about $500 more. The same thing applies. It's basically the same exact identical functionality, but it's using a Kawai keypad. So this would also apply to the Nord Grand. Moving on. favorites here and the sound section where you choose a type and a variation for a total of 72 different instruments. You have over 400 instruments here. Uh, and there's two sections, a piano section and a sample synth section. The sample synth section should be called everything else. In other words, non-piano stuff. In the piano stuff, you've got pianos and electric pianos and claps and stuff like that. And in each of these sections, you either turn it on or off. So you can turn on the piano section and you have piano. You can turn on the sample synth section, and not only do you have that, you have a layer. Or I could turn off the piano section altogether and just have the sample synth. So it's real easy to layer. Layering cannot be done through the panel on the Korg SV-2. You have to use the software editor. And the same thing with splits. You can set a split point easy here, and it goes way beyond splits. It actually has smooth split transitions. And if you want to learn more about that, see my review on this. With the Korg, you set a split with the SV-2 editor. But you can change the split point on the panel here once you've got that set up. Now, as easy as it is to set a layer here, each one has a volume control, so you can control the volume of each one of the two instruments that make up the layer. On the Korg, using the SV-2 editor, you can have up to 3 instruments in a layer, so that's one more than what this does. But you can also control, when you hold down the function button over here, then the equalizer knobs double as volume controls for each individual instrument in that layer. Okay, and then moving forward here, actually the last part is the ambient section, and that would be things like reverb. And we have a reverb section here too. So we have room, stage, and hall, and bright, and we also have a little bit added reverb in the piano section, soft, mid, bright, dyno 1, dyno 2. And on the Korg, you have room, plate, hall, spring, tape echo, and stereo delay. Now, for delay, we have a separate strip on the Nord Piano 4 for delay. And each one of these has a button where you can tap to match the beat of your drummer, and that's what the delay will be set for on those beats that you specify when you tapped. And one more thing. The SV-2 uses an actual vacuum tube, known as a valve in the UK. It's a 12AX7 vacuum tube, and when you increase the drive on one of these, it sounds so warm because it is actually going through an analog tube. Now, we don't have that here. All right, the one thing that the Piano 4 lacks is organs. Yeah, you can get an organ through one of the sample synth things online, but it's not the true organs that you would find in, say, the Nord Stage series or the Electro or anything else like that. So organs are definitely lacking on here, whereas on the Korg organs, they really excel. And not only that, when you go into the editor, you can control so much more about the organ than you could on the front panel. Now, getting on to the pianos here. The Korg, actually the Nord, you can get free downloads of all the pianos and other instruments Nord comes out with for life. Now that's part of the premium that you're paying. You're paying like $3,000 for this instrument, and even more for the Nord Grand. But the ability to download from the Nord site all the new pianos that come out from time to time and all the new instruments that they're constantly releasing, that's really nice, and they're all high quality. So right now, this is Nord's White Grand Piano Sample, which is a Steinway B. let's try that with the Korg SV-2. This is their German Grand, which is their Steinway. Okay, pretty good. Now, let's switch over to a Grand Imperial, and that is a Bosendorfer. And let's do the same thing over here on the Korg, which they call an Austrian Grand. All right, and one more sample for you. This is the Royal Grand 3D, which is a Yamaha. I don't recall offhand which Yamaha it is. And we'll go to the Japanese Grand here, which is a Yamaha. Now, Korg doesn't say exactly which models they are. They just say Japanese, Italian, Austrian, or German. Anyway, let's get on to the Japanese Grand, which is a Yamaha, and see how that sounds. So basically, a quick comparison between these two awesome stage pianos. And if I had a choice between the two, I would really be hard pressed to choose. The one thing I like about the Nord is the ability to have replacement instruments, new instruments that come out, to be able to load those. That's priceless. I love that. And I also love the fact that I can place things on top of this, which I can't do here. But on the SV-2, that is so cool. And I can tailor the instruments and fine tune them and tweak them and come up with stuff that I'm not able to do here. Plus, I can layer up to 3 here. I can't do that here, only 2. Each one has some other options in there that the other doesn't. And there are just too many of those to go into. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this comparison and I hope you learned something from it. Piano Man Chuck, peace out. Thanks for watching.